best canvas I've ever stretched. It looks so good. Now I just need to figure out what I'm gonna paint on it. I haven't made a vlog in a minute. I feel like January has just been tough on me, if I'm being totally honest. I was sick in December, and then like in January I still didn't feel great, and then I ended up getting COVID, which explains why I felt so horrible for such a long time. And this is like my first week back to normal, and it feels so good to finally feel good again. So we have basically what's going on in my little world right now is so many weddings, so many friends are getting married, just busy with like life events. But as for art events, I have my big art show on March 27th. So I have about 2 months to start prepping for that. So prep has begun, and I just stretched this giant, beautiful Belgian linen canvas right behind me, and I'm finally getting more comfortable stretching my own canvas. It is like so tedious if you stretch your canvas before you know you have to have a good staple gun, and you need to like be strong and like pull the canvas as far as you can and all that. So I'm finally getting better at that, and this one looks beautiful. But since it is unprimed and raw linen, it is so wrinkly right now, so I just sprayed water over it, and I'm gonna let it air dry, and then I'm gonna start thinking about my composition. And usually when it comes to just canvases and painting and like creating in general, I don't even make compositions beforehand. I kind of just like let it flow onto the canvas. But since this is like a handmade canvas, like I stretched it myself, there was no more Belgian linen applique, that was the last roll. I want to go into this project with a plan. So I feel like that's what this vlog is going to be about, kind of behind the scenes of this painting in particular, and prepping early in advance for this big show, and then just kind of random fun things in my life. So yeah, let's get into it. Here she is. I've been so into the look and feel of raw linen recently. So I've been like literally dreaming of painting on something like this. And I think the texture is just gonna be so good. So I'm really excited to see what we can make. So it's currently, I think, 2 days later since you guys saw me working on that painting, and I'm still working on it. But basically, I just had to turn off the camera for a second because I messed up the canvas, but we saved it. But I'm working on raw Belgian linen, and I totally forgot to size and prime it. I just got excited and just started working on it. And I read a ton of not reviews, but people online saying like, you really shouldn't do that. And maybe if you're like an art student experimenting, like go ahead and do that. But like if you're a full-time artist and like selling this piece, you really can't do that. So I'm like, oh shit. So I had to let it, what I did was I scraped the oil that you guys saw me working on, and luckily it wasn't that big of a section, and I scraped as much as I could. I let it dry as much as it could. I gessoed with clear gesso the front and the back, and I let it sit for 24 hours, and it's fine. I just started working on it again yesterday, and I'll have like a couple of clips, but I just like needed to focus. So I'm sorry I kind of left you guys hanging with that, but I'll take you along today through the process of this piece now that it's in good hands, it's not destroyed. So I will show you guys where we're at with it right now. So this is where we're at now with the piece, and I'll kind of zoom in so you guys can see, but the bunny is in a good spot so far. I'm obviously not done. I have to do a few more layers, but we have kind of, his figure is pretty much done. And if you guys have been kind of keeping up with my work recently, I've been so into these animations where, and I'll put one here, it's a thing, usually a horse or a rabbit or a swan or something that's entering its final form. So I've been like really into organic things and kind of this notion that we all come from the stars. We all have a little bit of stardust in us, and I think that is so cool. So that's just been like really inspiring my art recently, and just kind of how nature is such a part of us, and we're kind of taking this form as we go through life. So I kind of wanted to try to, you know, capture that essence in this painting, and we'll kind of see how it goes. This is what we're listening to. It is the Animalism EP by Beach Bunny. If you don't know what this EP is, you need to listen to it right now, front to back. It is so good. Okay, so this is where we're at. We have our little blobbies up there. We have our other bun here, then our main bun there, and I ran out of blue paint, so I think I'm gonna have to pack it up. Good morning, guys. It is currently Tuesday, and today, I mentioned yesterday, I think, that I have to work on a script for a brand. What is a brand deal? And I'm like newer to brand deals. I signed with an agency, and I really like working with them. And I know it's a smart way to like monetize my audience, because I worked so hard to like build this following on Instagram and TikTok and everything. So I know this is a smart use of my time and energy, but I still like don't know if I love doing brand deals. So I'm trying to, I think I just need to find the right brands to work with. So yeah, we have to do that today, and I'll be fine. I haven't made a script since I was in advertising at my 9-to-5, so I need to get my copywriting skills up to snuff. But today I also want to work on a little animation. I'll put it up here, the 2 I've done previously, because you guys love them so much and they're really fun and therapeutic for me to make. So I'm gonna do one of those today as like my content piece on Instagram and TikTok, and then after that I will get going on the script. Let me lift the camera up a little bit. Perfect. Okay, so what we did yesterday is I kind of refined the rabbit a bit. He's getting there. I fixed up his ear, added in some more shadows and highlights, cleaned up the blue around him, and added his little airbrush tail, which I think is fun. And then in this area here, so how I'm envisioning it is I kind of want to make these little abstract diffused shapes in this corner and then continue the blue throughout, but it's like a little house for these, I'm calling them like molecules, like I don't know what else to call them, but they've been really fun for me to make lately. And again, it kind of just goes into this theme of like auras and energy that I've been kind of really interested by recently. So I know I mentioned before, but maybe the vision is starting to come together a bit more on this piece, but like the whole meaning is it's kind of like a cycle. So we start here as like stardust, as stars, as some sort of energy, and then as time progresses we're taking our shape into our final form. But like the whole message is we're not ever complete, we're always this work in progress. And I really kind of like this notion that we are in this cycle, we are this endless cycle of energy, and that's kind of how we're all connected to nature, how we're connected to each other. So I think this is like an overall theme that I want to keep exploring, and I think it's been really fun, and I'm excited to see where this goes in 2025. But that is where we're at with this piece. I do get asked quite a bit how I make these little animations that I've been doing by hand. Like they're not digital at all, which is cool. They're all hand done animations. And how I do it is with rice paper. So if you've been wondering how I've been making these, I use rice paper. I'll show you the actual pack of paper I use. It's from Blick. It is this brand. I really love it. It has such a nice texture. I used to be in like a very big ink and rice paper phase about 2 years ago with my work, and I kind of missed it. Like I miss working on this paper, so I was thinking how can I like use this old material that I had lying around, and then it was with the animations. So what I do is I kind of just square off the paper, and it doesn't have to be perfect, but I like to kind of do it in little rectangles because that works the best for Instagram and TikTok. So I'm just folding it, and then I make this like invisible guide for myself. And it doesn't have to be perfect at all. Like you can kind of like see the guide. Take my scissors and then I just cut along, and then I have my frames. I'm not cutting this straight at all, but that's okay. That's kind of the fun thing about these animations. The cool part about the rice paper and why I use it for these animations in the first place is because they're translucent pretty much, so you can see the animation. If I was to make like a circle here and then layer this piece, I still see like a faint outline of the circle, so it actually makes it perfect for making in hand, like frame by frame animations. And I use a very specific shade of blue. This is just dark blue. I thought I had like a special name. It's just the dark blue colored pencil from Blick, but this is what I use for all of my frames. I think it's that one. Yeah, it's the dark blue because I can see this one pretty clearly through the rice paper, and I don't want to use just straight up black. I feel like this blue gives it more of like an ethereal, soft look. So I have this, my rice paper, and then I'm gonna go get my pencil sharpener because this gets dull pretty quick. For this one, I think I'm gonna do a swan, and the inspiration is this Maggie Rogers piece right above my desk. I don't know if you can see it. There she is. But that's kind of the inspo for the swan, I think. And it's gonna be like following that same theme that I've been explaining to you guys of like these shapes taking their forms and then starting from like a small molecule and then entering into like their final stage and then going back. So I think that's just very cool and really fun. So I'm gonna go work on that and I will show you guys the final animation. It's currently 4:30 right now and I made the little animation. I'll show you right here. This took about maybe 2 hours to do and edit, maybe 2.5. And then I also wrote out my script for the brand deal. So I want to submit it tomorrow, which is Wednesday. I just wanted to kind of take a stab at it tonight, let it sit, and then I'm gonna proof it tomorrow morning and have John read it also, and then I will send it off to my manager, and then from there she'll relay it over to the client and then hopefully get feedback or approval Thursday or Friday. But now we are going to get ready for a birthday dinner. So I'm gonna get ready for that, and yeah, it'll be fun. It'll be a good night. I'm excited. We're in my bathroom. I feel like I never take you guys in here. I used to in earlier vlogs, but we can chat while I'm getting ready. This might be like a longer vlog, which I don't know, it's kind of nice. I'm in this like weird phase right now where I have like a lot of things I need to do and focus on and get done, but I have like no big collabs really, or like brand events and like drops, which I usually kind of always have one kind of cooking and working on, and then it takes a couple months obviously for it to go live. But yeah, it's kind of interesting. This is like the first time in my little creative career where I don't really have that right now. So I'm just trying to like focus on, you know, doing things for the brand, for my business that are important to me, and kind of like building up my image and continuing to create content on social media I'm proud of and like excited about. So yeah, it's just kind of interesting. I'm also in like this fun phase where I'm testing out new makeup for oh my god. Ugh. That tasted horrible. For my wedding, because I'm gonna do my own makeup. And fun fact, my mom wanted me to be a makeup artist for like the longest time. She was always like, you'd be so good at doing makeup, because she always thought I was like amazing at doing makeup. And so did my friends. Like, I would do my friends' makeup for prom and homecoming, big like things like that. And I never thought I was that good, but I can do a perfect cat eye. I will say that. And that was kind of my signature in high school, which is crazy. In high school, my signature was a cat eye. I did it every single day. You wouldn't see me without my black cat eye. So, and I remember like girls would totally like make fun of me because they're like, oh, Elena tries so hard, she wears so much makeup to school, and it made me feel so bad about myself. But honestly, it was such a fun, creative thing for me to do. Like, I loved waking up in the morning and doing my makeup before school. Sorry about it, I liked it. So I think it did kind of make me feel weird growing up that everyone cared so much what I did with my makeup. I was like, don't you have more important things to worry about than how I look? But whatever. And it's so funny because now like I rarely do cat eyes anymore. Like I do like softer cat eyes. I'm talking like I would do a black liquid cat eye, and I loved it, and it actually looked so good. So sometimes I'll bring it out again and like do my black liner, and my mom is like, oh my god, your cat eye. Like, she loves when it makes an appearance because it was like such an iconic part of like my teenage years, which is kind of fun. Hi guys, it is the next day. It's like 1:30 right now, and I am starting to prep my pieces for the other art fair, which is the end of March, but they're oil pieces and they're oil pastel pieces, so I've been letting them dry, like air dry as much as they can for weeks, and now I'm spraying the varnish on them. So it's just like a giant process, and it takes a really long time to do this. So I'm starting it early. Also, I love Valentine's Day so much. It's one of my favorite holidays. And every year I make like handmade Valentines, and I post a series of them. So I decided to start it today so I can make a couple of them. And this is the very first Valentine to kick off Valentine's Day.